Hello, welcome to Monday Morning Matters live broadcast show brought to you by Magnicraft Consulting team, anchored by Niyi Dunmade, a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the U.S. Here, each Monday of every week, we address important, relevant, and actionable topics of interest that will help you and your church grow healthier. And now, meet your host, Niyi Dunmade.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for hooking up with me. Thank you for hooking up with me despite the network challenges, despite everything. I want to be sure that we have people connected. Thank you for hooking up with me. And today I'm going to be concluding the concluding part of the 12 probing questions for your church. 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 The last 3 Mondays, I've talked on 9 questions, and today I'll just hit the ball rolling with the last 3 questions that you need to ask your church, and I'll try and make sure that today is a bit brief. And I'll make it very brief. So 12 probing questions for your church. And the 10th question is, does your church unlock and understand her potentials? Now, there are 3 knowns that are very key to a church. 1, it has to do with the self. And then 2, it has to do with the church. 3, it has to do with the community. So does your church understand herself and the community? But what I just want to emphasize here is the community. Okay, in the community, how do you? Because if you don't know the community, you cannot execute the Great Commission, and the Great Commandment. To reach out to someone, you have to, and to love someone, you have to know that person. To reach out to someone and to love someone, loving your neighbor, you have to know that person. So is the area growing? You have to know if the area is growing, what type of people are staying there, what's their race, what's their age differences, and things like that. We need to know them. We need to know them and then see how we can reach out to them. Is the people staying in the community older or younger in terms of age? What percentage of people believe in God, so that you know the kind of evangelistic efforts you're going to make. And there are quite a lot of things you can do on the community analysis. And if you want us to do a community analysis for your church, we can help you out with that, so that you can know the caliber or the type of people that are in your organization, in your community. So that's the 10th question. Does the church unlock and understand her potentials? Does the church understand and unlock her potentials? So in terms of evangelism, in terms of outreach, in terms of outward activities, trying to see how you can get the message out with the relevant methods to reach out to people in the community. We're having network issues, and I'm trying to see how I can resolve that as soon as possible. But the church needs to rise above the great omission. That's you can imagine the church being minoring on major functions like discipleship and evangelism. And then the great commandment, it's not a suggestion. Jesus Christ did not give us those commandments, those commission, as a suggestion or as an omission or a possible omission. So we need to find out how we can utilize and maximize the potentials we have in the church. The next question, which is the 11th one, has to do with, does the church have an effective discipleship process? If you cannot explain your discipleship process from start to finish, then that means that you don't have a process. We can also help you to see how you can have a pathway from when someone is a convert to when someone is a disciple. Okay, what are the processes? How do you craft out a pathway or process at which you can disciple someone and assimilate that person, train that person, and make sure that you, now that the world has gone digitalized, we need to find ways that at which you can use URL links to make sure that you inculcate some of the values, the traits that you want to see in your disciples. So how effective is your discipleship process? That's the 11th question. Does the church have effective discipleship process? As a church, we need to make sure that we major on the major. That's discipleship and evangelism. I move away from that to the last question, which is, does the church have a relevant and pandemic-proof vision framework? Okay, I can tell a church is going to go far from the vision framework or the mission or vision statement and the mission statement. Okay, now that the church is experiencing a pandemic, we need to make sure that we are actually majoring on the major and ensuring that whatever vision framework we have is relevant and is pandemic proof. I mean, the fact that the pandemic has come has not relegated the church to being an NGO distributing palliatives, but we need to evangelize and we need to disciple people. We need to evangelize and we need to what? Disciple people. Now, what makes a vision statement or a mission statement acceptable? One, it has to be biblical. Two, it has to be clear, concise. It has to be precise. Okay, clarity is not non-negotiable. Then it has to be memorable. Okay, short enough for you to memorize them. It has to be actionable. It has to be relevant, and of course, it has to be something that it can make you to fulfill the Great Commission and the Great Commandment. So, does the church have relevant and pandemic-proof vision framework? So I want to wrap it up there. These are just the 12 questions, 12 probing questions for your church. Please, if you have not gotten from the first one, you need to go to that video, all the videos, the last 3 Mondays plus today, and then I'll see how I can make sure that this video is repeated so that we can have some good visuals. I can see that the visuals is not so good because of network issues. I will see what I can do. Now, go back to the past Mondays. You're going to see some of those questions, and then you'll be glad you did. My name is Niyi Dunmade. I'm the CEO of Magnicraft Consulting. I'm a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting. And this is Monday Morning Matters. Monday Morning Matters is sponsored by Magnicraft Consulting, and we are always analyzing churches from this framework, and I'm telling you, it works. So please feel free to ask me any question. You have any questions, go on my social media handle. You will see my Facebook, like, tweet, follow, subscribe on my YouTube channel. And then if you have any question, reach out to me on any of these channels. I'll be glad to get your questions answered. I'll be glad to get your questions answered. So thank you so much for your listening. I'm trying to see how we can get these broadcasts without network issues. Thank you. Till I see you next time. Thank you for allowing me to come into your space. God bless you. I see you again.